Hello and welcome to the first episode of our podcast. We'll start this episode with brief intros of who's here today, and then we'll get started. And if any of our other friends join, they'll join later. I'll go first. My name is Justin, and I recently graduated from the University of Mary Washington with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communications and Digital Studies and a minor in Spanish. And I ran cross country and track and field all 4 years there.
I'll go next because I went next last time. So I'm Haven Utley. I'm 21 years young, and I'm just living life to the fullest, hedonistically. I don't have any degrees or anything special, like Justin. I'm a special dude.
We're all special in our own way.
I'm
Piece of paper
especially
does not
special.
determine that.
Mama always said I'd be special.
An expensive piece of paper does not determine that. Okay, let's go next.
Alejandro, Chris.
All right, my name is Chris. I graduated from VCU in 2021, 2 years ago. I'm getting my pilot's license right now. And as well as Haven, I'm also just living my life, taking it day by day, just overall chilling.
All right.
Yo, yeah, hey, I'm Ali. I'm, what can I say? I'm still in school, graduating this year. Well, next year technically, but, hoping to go to school in Florida and, yeah, just trying to make some money in this world.
Definitely. Money moves. Okay, so we can just transition right into sort of our reason for making a podcast and some things we'd like to talk about in the future. I think in our trial yesterday I said it's kind of a outlet for us to talk about things that we're passionate about, or just, kind of spitball ideas at each other about certain things, certain interests, maybe current events, video games, reactions, just different stuff that happens in the world around us, and kind of give our take to make sense about it.
I'm right there with you, man. I think a large reason why I'm so open to this idea is because all we really do is just talk comfortably with one another about issues in our life and the world. Maybe I'm a little dramatic, say issues, but we just talk about all kinds of shit, and I think that it provides some input, some perspective. I'm excited to do it. It's a nice little outlet, like you said, that we agreed on.
Yeah, Chris, Ollie, you guys have any reasons or any sort of, I guess, individual opinions or thoughts about being a part of a podcast and sort of the things you'd want to talk about, or
I
to
think
be a part of?
I think overall, like, this podcast is going to be really good just for everyone to be able to relate to, because we talk about a lot of things that are going on in today's climate in the world, along with a bunch of like current social things that are going on. And I kind of wanted to do this podcast, or really happy that you came up with this idea, Justin, because I think we talk about a lot of stuff that like a lot of people can relate to, along with, I think we're just a group of kind of funny guys, and things just kind of are funny with us, and we kind of have a good grip of what we're trying to talk about.
Just
Yeah,
a bunch of dudes being dudes. Dudes being
But
dudes.
it's good.
Funny dudes being smart dudes.
And how more people need to be kind to themselves. Plug that podcast, man.
Yep, that'll be on the little YouTube graphic, I guess. One day, though, I think it'd be cool to have that animated, but I gotta figure out how to do that.
Yeah, one day, dude. We'll get there.
Yeah. When
We gotta
I
build our brand.
stop being lazy and I learn how to use Photoshop and stuff like that.
I hope this becomes as big as a Joe Rogan podcast. That way it can be like, well, it's fucking a college degree. I can just do this shit for a living.
Well, in order for us to get anywhere there, we gotta get more comfortable fucking making conversation while we're being recorded.
Yeah, I mean,
And we have
just
to
kinda
talk about
seems practice.
controversial issues.
All right, if we're talking about controversial issues, let's talk about lip filler with girls. When do you guys think the point
All
is
right,
too
moving
much?
on. So podcast name discussion.
Yeah. There you go.
We'll talk about
Empty
that
head
next, and
society.
then maybe we can fit in a specific topic at the end if everybody wants to. But
Let us just stress, Chris, okay, for like third time now. This is our introduction episode. The next episode that we have is probably gonna be where we start the
Extensive.
controversial. Yeah, we're gonna start getting controversial, but people need an idea of what's going on here
well,
first.
hopefully not too controversial, because
Yeah, for lack of a better way of putting it.
20 years down the road, we're gonna get canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
One comment about lip filler on the first episode. We're already shot.
That's the first thing he thought of. Okay, but
Alright.
name ideas. We all kind of had different ones yesterday. I don't know if you guys thought of different ones.
Yeah, I feel like I should have probably put a little bit more thought into this. I definitely got stumped yesterday.
It's okay.
I want something, yeah, but I just going on that same thought, that I had yesterday. I'm something more like funny while also being I don't know. I want something that has two meanings. It's cool when things have more than one meaning.
Yeah.
But I don't have it off the top of my head.
I suggest we name ourselves the Empty Head Society, because we're all a bunch of fucking idiots.
Let's speak for yourself there, buddy. All right. All right.
Fuck you.
It's like it's just like the nicest way of calling all of us stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not rocking with that.
I
I'm
kind
not
of
Yeah,
hope
me
we
neither.
have like a cult following down the road.
Yeah, dude. So let's just be like
If
the
fans
fucking-
turn into this episode, merch will definitely be available soon.
Yeah, we'll pick
JJ.
one thing out from our pilot episode that will be put on merch, and because YouTube
The
lets me
boys.
see the first viewers, the first 30 viewers down the road will get a piece of merch in their mail.
Yes, if you watch back to this first podcast after we've gotten crazy big and there's a cult following, of course, obviously, because that's going to happen. Use code Among Us for a 10% discount.
This-
Did you say
Use code.
100% discount?
I said a 10%.
Oh, I was about to say, you get it for free. Here you go. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Let's
No, but
see.
I'm really excited for this podcast. I think we got a good group of guys. There's gonna be some other people too. This podcast, not me. We got lineup. We got Jay.
Yeah.
We got me, John. I think with us.
What's going on? Chris, I'm gonna stop you before you go any further. You sound like Terminator. Man,
What if he
unplug
is-
your
what-
mic.
what- what
Man,
if
I
he
might
is
have
a
to mute
Terminator?
Chris for a second. Oh, no.
I don't know what he just said because he sounds like he's underwater, but yeah,
Who?
you do.
Me?
Yeah, because your signal.
Well, I think you're fine now, Chris. What's happening? Anyway,
What is that?
um,
Are you just playing like the same chord over and over on your guitar, Chris? Dude.
thank you. Anyway,
Okay, where's the cricket sound? Why did you just break that out like that, dude? What? The intrusive thoughts one.
any other name ideas?
Yeah, Chris, you got one? I have a good one. Du Bois.
Sweet.
But like D-U-H. Du Bois.
Oh. Clever.
My name is BKTY. BTKY. Be kind to yourself.
Oh. Honestly, yeah,
True.
we could be the Be Kind to Yourself podcast.
Overall, we should talk about things that we're doing that overall has
Honest
helped
with
our
yourself.
mental wellness. So we can talk about mental wellness, and then we can also talk about just things about life in general. But overall, have a main, like a quote at the end, such as Justin has said it. I think is a really good way to like include that mental wellness and things like that. Another
Yeah,
person I really
definitely.
like is Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty, he's a very very good guy about that. His podcast is really good too. But yeah, he does like a little bit of questions where it's like, you know, if you could do things differently, what would you do? Or what is 5 things that you think that everyone should strive to do, and 5 things you suggest that are not beneficial, things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can get there. You know, I think that is like a nice idea for like a layout of a conversation. You
I
know,
think
one of
eventually when we get down the road to, because I feel like, I mean, I know men's health and wellness is kind of a thing that we could talk about for a while, but I feel like we should have that be down the road because that'll definitely be our longest episode.
For sure, I agree.
Not really
So
talked about a lot.
do we have any like beginner topics, or do we have anything like
I
something just a little bit
can-
like
I
a
can pull
small
up my
topic
list
that we
real
want to
quick.
talk about? Something. Yeah, because I'm down to talk about like one thing, just how like, you know, this intro episode be fire.
Let's see. I mean, we could kind of go into the background of why we want to do a podcast a little bit more in depth. And then, I mean, really anything we could talk about. We could talk about just like, I don't know, our days or kind of what we want to do in the future and just kind of be a little more specific on the why
Yeah.
to our lives type of thing. I know Haven and I, we had talked about doing this before. It's been a thing that we've talked about for a while just because, like, especially when we'd be playing games and, like, Haven and Anthony would just, like, go off and ramble on. Haven would always be like, man, we gotta start a podcast. We'd be talking about the funniest shit in the world. And so I know that definitely was like encouraging to me because I know whenever I'm playing games with y'all, I get a fucking headache from laughing. So
That is very very factual. I agree 100% with that statement. Even though I have a PC now, not a PS4, so I'm not able to be, or PS5 to be into these chats. Still an overall good time with the boys, especially with my soundboard. That's amazing.
your soundboard is quite the trip. I fucking I did. I had something and then it left me. And there you go.
well, it's okay.
Another thing
Too
that's
many
really cool to do is take acid and see how far you can run before you get hit by a car. It's like playing real life Frogger.
Okay.
How
Wow,
about
you're gonna do that
no?
during a podcast?
During a podcast, that'd be kinda
100th
crazy.
episode special.
Yep,
100
100 episode special. We're gonna give Chris acid and we're gonna watch him run down the street as fast as he can.
Until he gets to traffic.
As soon as we get to $50,000
Until he's in California.
merch sales, I'll do that.
And I'll do it with you.
I will not.
Well, so, well, I do want to go a little bit off of what Justin was saying. I think that over the years, like we've developed like a pretty good relationship with one another. I think that over the years we've also taken different outlooks on life. We have different perspectives on different things. I think that one thing all of us have really been able to gain from one another, if anything at all, is like I mean, like we're just all very good at communicating with one another, even when we're angry, or even if like like we don't agree on certain things. I think that more often than not, we're able to come to like a conclusion. We're able to resolve all the shit, and do think that in certain situations, like we do come up with certain things. We how would I put it? We realize shit, and we put things into perspective, and sometimes I'm even taken aback by like how fucking like mature we've grown to be, how like responsible with our words we've learned to be, how fluent in our thought processes we've come to be. Like I think that,
As you guys can tell, Haven got really high on his SAT score for speech.
Dude, fun fact, never took the SAT. Probably never will.
It's a useless test anyway. I basically
I just,
gave up and started guessing on everything, and I got a 12:30 my last try, so don't worry
any
about
big
it.
test where it's like timed and whatnot, dude, just count me the fuck out, man. Like I don't like, I already got enough pressure and stress in my life, dude. The last thing I need is be sitting in a room like dictated by a figment of imagination. Time is a constant.
That's low-key a good
Delegated
topic to
false
get
sense of
into.
power.
That is a really good topic to get into, honestly. Standardized testing, do we think it's a go or no in regards to proving how truly someone's intelligence is?
Only thing that you should be
I
taught
personally,
is how to do drugs.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
this kid is the
in a
example
way,
of what they
yeah.
made Dare for.
I think, we could a lot of topic of conversation could be branched off from just even that.
I mean,
That's
that's,
for
the,
another time,
that's
you
the
know?
beauty of a podcast. We can all just sort of talk about things like just perfectly normal, and it can just branch off into literally anything.
Well,
Literally
Alejandro,
anything.
Yeah, Ollie,
What?
let's hear from you, brother.
I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think? How do you think we I wouldn't say how we benefit from the podcast, but like, what are you excited about with the podcast to come? Like, what are you most excited about? What do you hope to get out of it? And sharing your thoughts and ideas with us boys and the world, or our extensive fan base.
Not sure, honestly.
Well,
I don't know. I thought it'd be good to like get my viewpoint out. I've been told multiple times that I have very neutral opinions about things. So I thought it'd be nice to state these viewpoints and keep them to myself, because I feel like people, won't say them because it'll offend someone.
so you're here for the hard hitting topics, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get there. Definitely next episode whenever we get there.
Right.
I know we could talk about a number of things, and I mean, again, this is just kind of like a pilot, so when whenever we record next, hopefully we all have done our homework and have stuff prepared to actually talk about based on whatever
That is
topic.
definitely important. I think that like throughout like the next few days before we do agree on like when our next podcast should be, I think that like we could collectively like agree on like a handful of things to talk about like in the coming episode, and then like take the next few days to also just like like look up some points of conversation, like things that you might want to bring up or questions you might want to ask. That way we can keep like a nice like flowing conversation you know, and there's not like, you know, like a lot of like points where we're like stumped or whatnot. Like
Yeah.
we always talk about shit that we know a lot about, so we have a lot of shit to say. So once we're able to talk about the shit that we know a lot about, we just gotta, you know, it's just a matter of being prepared to talk about it, you know, and not being blindsided by it, you know, which I feel like, you know, like it's a little like it might be how it feels right now because it like feels like it's like the first day of school, like teacher calls on you and you gotta explain like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm this guy, this is where I'm from, you know, it's like. This is the introductions aren't always easy, you know, but this is the first step. It's
It's
baby
also
steps
definitely
taken.
meant to be a safe space.
Yeah, you know, it's not. And at the same time, you know, like definitely like don't be wild and like try to filter out like, you know, like unnecessary shit, you know. But other than that, this is supposed to be our outlet.
Yep.
You know? With that being said, I'm really, really, really upset that our boy Ant-Man can't be here, Anthony, to indulge on this pilot podcast. Pilot episode.
Yesterday I was losing it. Just kept joining and leaving. So
Yeah.
funny. So
Yeah,
stupid,
no,
but so funny.
He is a trip, that guy. Our boy John, hopefully he makes his appearances here and there.
Squishy.
And then what?
Squishy.
I can't tell if that's like you
It's
actually, Chris.
It's a TikTok thing. It's him.
Yeah.
It's him saying it.
Squishy. Squishy.
All right.
Alright,
Tourette's.
well, before we get too carried away, we can sort of just close out with our good thing of the day or a quote we thought of. I know we had a few yesterday.
No, I looked up a different one for today. Even though the one from yesterday was pretty funny.
Alright, well, I mean, you can go first then.
Oh shit! All right, I'll go first. Yeah, let me find my quote. It's a little more it's a little bit more dramatic than yesterday's. Yeah. The quote is okay. You know what? I'll just read it. In quotations, it could be anything. Experts tell us what kind of nuclear secrets Trump could steal. And the reason why I chose that quote is because that's terrifying.
Yeah.
And it made my skin crawl. Just reading the article. A little bit.
What did you talk about yesterday?
yeah.
You were talking about...
Oh, the lady that was holding chimps hostage in her basement.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, like caretaking, you know. But we know that she was pulling a fucking like Rise of the Planet of the Apes kind of thing down there.
Is that your good thing of the day?
Well, and best thing that happened to me today was fucking. I had Zaxby's for the first time in a brick, dude. And if y'all don't know what gourmet food is, bro, if y'all never had gourmet food, go to Zaxby's. Doesn't matter which one you go to either, bro. They all hit. Like Zaxby's literally like, dude, Gordon Ramsay couldn't like birth anything nearly as good that comes out of Zaxby's. It's just fucking, oh, dude, it's uncanny.
Sonic is my shit, dude.
Dude, there's a Sonic like two or like, I don't know, like 3-minute walk from my house.
I love
I'm
Sonic.
thinking about getting a little active tonight, and then you know, like hitting Sonic faded as fuck.
Dude, their lemonade is the best thing ever.
Sonic Lemonade, here I come.
Yeah. Alright, well, Chris, Ollie, do you guys have quotes?
Mine is actually a quote by Charles Lindbergh, and it is, "Life is like landscape. You live in the midst of it, but can only describe it from the vantage point of distance." So it's basically like saying, like, sometimes like you just got to stop and look around once in a while, or you're gonna miss it. I mean, that's another quote to describe a quote, but Charles Lindbergh was the first person to cross the Atlantic in a plane nonstop from New York to Paris back in 1927.
Well, that's what my great grandmother was doing. My great grandmother. Same year.
Cool. Ollie?
Just a interesting connection. Yeah, you got a quote for us today, brother?
Yeah. Suddenly you realize you'll never have the same good relationship you wanted, as long as they were alive, even though you never admitted, part of you, the stupidest goddamn part of you, was still holding on to that chance. And you didn't realize until that chance went away.
What's that from? I feel like it's in a movie.
Go. Just, we're only here temporary in our lives, Best thing we can do is tell those who are close to us how much we love them, whatnot. Because, never know one day when it's.
You never know what you have till it's gone.
So what happens, though?
I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning into our first kind of
Hello?
podcast.
Justin is he's the leader. Okay, let Justin. let Justin. Yeah, there you go. He's the one who gets to start to finish.
I'm our manager for as much as y'all know.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know if you're in a hurry or something. You got somewhere to be.
Alright, well I'll do mine real quick. This one is from a manga called Berserk. Rest in peace, Kentaro Miura. And it's, he died doing what he wanted no matter what, right? I bet he was happy. And I think that kind of ties into what Ollie was saying in his quote about kind of just living in the moment and enjoying what we have now, and especially us as individuals and as men. I think, being happy is probably in every man's mind a number 1 or 2 thing, probably number 2 after like family. But doing what you want is definitely a fulfilling thing, but I feel like true fulfillment is being happy and doing whatever you want. I don't know. I probably could have said that better, but
No, I think you said that pretty good as well as you did. I think I agree with that completely.
yeah.
Right? It depends on what you need for your happiness. Because nowadays, a lot of people, again, this is a topic that you could go into for a while, but a lot of people think that you need a lot of certain things in order to be happy, or they trick themselves into thinking that they need this, in order for them to be happy. But you can be very surprised with how practicing gratitude and things like that
Yeah.
is important.
I think it also, something I was trying to say, but was not quite able to get it out. It's kind of like finding that thing that makes you happy is fulfilling, but also we should be striving to find happiness in whatever it is we do, even if it's something we
If it's
don't
the
like
most
to do,
mundane,
but
yep, exactly. I agree. Even if it's the most mundane things to do.
yeah. And to just
Said voice.
seek out our own fulfillment and, die one day
Yeah, like-
doing or being a part of whatever made us happiest.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm just kind of happy that I have a roof over my head. I have access to water. I have access to food. I'm not hungry right now. I'm not worried about paying for rent and things like that. I'm very fortunate for that.
Exactly. Home is where the heart is.
There you go.
All right,
Definitely
well,
in here. Okay.
thank you for whoever tuned in. We'll get better next time, especially with a little bit more structure. Again, this episode was just kind of, again, our pilot and sort of our reasoning and I guess motives with this podcast, and just expressing our thoughts now. And it'll definitely be something cool to look at maybe 10 more episodes down the road and be like, we got a little bit more eloquent and we were able to speak a little more gracefully about the things that we're passionate about.
Yes, sir.
Yep, so thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you.
Salutations.
See ya.